going to start with something very helpful for you this morning, especially this time of year. Support comes from ZBiotics. It's a game changer. If you like to enjoy a drink now and then, it's called pre-alcohol. It's the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It is designed by PhD scientists to help you wake up feeling great after a night out. And here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol turns into a toxic byproduct in your gut. It's that buildup. It's not dehydration. That is what makes you feel awful the next day. ZBiotics breaks it down before it causes trouble. I first tried it before dinner with friends here in New York, and the next morning I was up early, ready to do the show, sharp on the air. So this is fall. Whether you're tailgating, you're watching the game, or you're celebrating a win, make ZBiotics your first drink of the night, and you're going to need it going into the holiday season. So go to zbiotics.com/lemon and use the code LEMON for 15% off of your first order. It is backed by a 100% money-back guarantee. That's zbiotics.com/lemon. The code is LEMON for 15% off. So let's get started. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Don Lemon Show. You see that face right there. I love one of my dear friends, Ms. Stephanie Ruhle, joins us. Steph, we're going to talk about what's happening with the economy, but also the government is shut down. The economy's tanking, negative job numbers, the last report that we got. And today, Donald Trump announced that his new White House ballroom now costs, it was $200 million. Then he said $300 million yesterday. Now he's saying $350 million. And he's not checking with anyone, not getting any approval from anybody at all. So Stephanie Ruhle, the host of MSNBC's The 11th Hour and NBC News senior business analyst. Let's talk about the ballroom and then get to the economy. What is going on with this ballroom?
All right, let's talk about the ballroom, because to me, demolishing the East Wing to create this ballroom is sort of the physical manifestation of everything Donald Trump has done for the last 277 days. And by that, I mean, he's doing whatever the heck he wants. There is no checks and balance. Like, we have seen previous presidents, of course, do different projects at the White House, do renovations, but the money has come through Congress, right? Approved money, approved projects. And in this case, just like what you're seeing the president do in so many different facets of this administration, he's doing whatever he wants. Now, some Republicans can say, why are people complaining? They're not using taxpayer money. Well, here's why it's important. Just because it's not taxpayer money doesn't mean it doesn't matter. He's getting, whether it's 250 million or 300 million, he is getting it from private donors and corporations. And so you could say, well, isn't that good? It's not my money. It is, because no corporation, no big donor is writing a big check for their health, right? Nothing comes for free. So the question is, what are any of these companies getting in return? And the problem is, Don, we don't know. So yet again, there's a complete lack of transparency. And when there is no transparency in what the highest levels of government are doing, then it begs the question, are we really putting America first? Are we putting the American voter first? We don't know. We don't know where the money's coming from and why.
Well, we know where some of the money is coming from, which
Yes,
we'll
yes.
talk about. But I also want to know, Stephanie, as you look at these pictures, you see the Politico report, tech, crypto, tobacco, and other companies of Trump's White House ballroom, fund Trump's White House ballroom. We know that. But when you saw these images of backhoes in the East Wing being torn down, what went through your head?
Again, it's like, so what has happened over the last 8 months, right? We've torn up trade agreements with our allies around the world. We are basically telling NATO, take a hike. We want to go at this alone. So think about all the institutions, all the partnerships that have existed in the United States, much of which has made us exceptional, right? Over decades and decades. You're starting to see those things be torn down, and now literally, physically, our White House, the people's White House.
Steph, let's talk about the folks who are underwriting this.
Yes, and so I shouldn't say we don't know where the money's coming from. Yeah. We don't know why. It's coming from a number of different companies. My own parent company, Comcast, is one of the donors. So the question we're all asking, the companies that are backing this, what potentially could they be getting, what could the president be promising? Or when you're currying a favor with the president, we all want to know why.
Steph, let's go over this list, okay? Because I did not know this until I watched your show. I had no
I'm
idea.
glad you watched.
And I think that I am a very informed person, but I think it's also, you're doing the job. It's also that the media is not really talking about this or handling it to the level that I think they should be handling, because this would be outrageous in any other administration. These are the donors that we know of: Altria Group, Amazon, Apple, Booz Allen Hamilton Inc., Caterpillar, Coinbase, Comcast Corporation, as you meant. Is it J. Pepe and Amelia Fangul?
Yes,
Fanjul?
yes, that's that's the Sugar family.
Okay. Hard Rock International, Google, HP Inc., Lockheed Martin, Meta Platforms, Micron Technology, Microsoft. I mean, on and on. Ripple, T-Mobile. Let's see who else we have. The Adelson Family Foundation, Union Pacific Railroad. Let's see. Oh my gosh, the
So
Lutnick
Don,
family, the
people often
Schwartzman,
ask the
Stephen A.
question.
Schwartzman.
People often ask the question, is the White House for sale? So this is a project that obviously matters a lot to the president. And for these companies, any of these CEOs would argue, listen, this is just what they have to do. Their priority is to their shareholders, it's to their employees. They want to make sure they're staying in business, right? The president has tried to put in place massive tariffs across the board. We could go down company by company, whether you mentioned a bunch of tech companies. Think about this. Artificial intelligence is going to impact every aspect of our lives. If you were an AI giant and you could befriend the president right now and potentially be building this new universe with absolutely or almost no regulation, that would be extraordinary for you. So if that just costs you a few $1 million here or there, and you're going to get to make your way into the new frontier without any regulators on your ass, they're going to love that. The problem is, for the American people, smart regulation is what we need to protect us.
But you know what? It does matter if you cozy up to the president. Because nothing that he likes more than money, and maybe loyalty, but I think he likes money more than he likes loyalty. As a matter of fact, he doesn't even care about the quiet part anymore, Steph, I believe, because he said the quiet part again out loud today, as it relates to something else that, people may want some help with. Watch this.
Well, a minute, too. You've made some incredible speeches, and all from the heart, too, right? Some great ones. Today, you'll hear details from my national security and homeland security teams about the extraordinary historic achievements of this new Homeland Security Task Force since it became fully operational last month in all 50 states. The job they're doing. What we inherited from this past administration is like disgraceful. In a matter of weeks, the task force has made the largest number of arrests of cartel leaders, operatives, and gang members in American history, more than 3,000 and counting. That includes members of the ultra-violent New Generation Cartel, the Sinaloa Cartel, the LNFM Cartel, MS-13 Cartel, and MS-13, the gang, and Tren de Aragua, another beauty. That's a group of real garbage we have to deal with, that we shouldn't have to deal with. These are, in addition to the massive numbers of dangerous criminals my administration arrested nationwide since January 20th,
Can you fast forward,
numbering
Andy, to the
over
San Francisco part?
120,000 the cartels and their killing on American soil than all other terrorist groups combined. Monstrous violence such as cutting off heads, burning, extortion, murder, kidnapping to exercise political and economic control. Thank you very much, Joe Biden, for allowing that to happen. Biden surrendered he just surrendered our country to the cartels.
Okay, good. I wish we had queued this up, but Stephanie, because I don't want to waste your time, but just go until he looks up, because it just keep fast forwarding until he looks up, and then you'll know, because then he's ad-libbing. So there we keep going. Now you go ahead.
And MS-13, the gang, and Tren de Aragua, another beauty. That's a group of real garbage we have to deal with, that we shouldn't have to deal with. These are, in addition to the massive.
So basically what he said, because pardon me, Steph, we did not cue this up for our guests.
That's all right.
Embarrassed in front of company. Basically what he said is that he's not going to send in the National Guard to some of the places where the people who gave him money or the people who are supporting him, he's holding off on sending the National Guard. He's saying you can curry favor with this president.
Yes, that's what he's saying. Or you could look at it another way, right? It was all over the news last week. Mark Benioff from Salesforce, one of the biggest businesses in San Francisco. Mark was throwing a huge conference in San Francisco last week. It was all over the news that Mark said, yes, bring in the National Guard. And then a few days later, Mark changed his mind and said, no, 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 don't bring in the National Guard. And it was reported today that Mark and some others spoke to the president, and now the National Guard isn't coming. I don't know if it's curry favor with the president. I take this as a net positive that at least we have people that are talking to the president in the case of San Francisco who know a city and who can convince the president to turn it around. Because what we're seeing in city after city, the president doesn't like the mayor, doesn't like the city, and it's just rolling through. In the case of San Francisco, I'm just grateful that the National Guard isn't making their way in willy-nilly. Now, my sadness is this, though, Don. In lots of these cities, they have safety issues. They have crime issues. If only we could get a federal government to work with local law enforcement. Instead, you've got Washington, D.C. You've brought in the National Guard. You've taken them from their hometowns, from their home cities, where they're now operating in D.C., picking up garbage. Gavin Newsom now has the National Guard helping with food banks in California. Like it's crazy, this moment that we're in. None of our federal and our state and local governments are not collaborating. They're working against each other at a time when the economy and the country is in real need of support.
But Steph, look, I don't disagree with you on any of that, except why do you have to give him money in order for him to follow the Constitution? Or
you shouldn't have to,
norms?
Don.
Right.
Okay. You absolutely shouldn't have to. And fundamentally, I agree with you. But if I were in one of these guys' positions, and I'm not defending them, they would say, these are the cards we've been dealt. We've got to play our hand. And so they would say, we're inside the White House. We're talking to the president. We're getting something good. But they're getting something good for themselves and their companies. We did not vote for any of these people. So you're right that suddenly if you pay the president, you can curry a favor with him. I don't feel good about that because I don't know who that person is or what they want. But yes, that's how this president operates. And the business community and other world leaders have figured that out. And he doesn't hide it.
He doesn't hide it at all. And that's why I said there's no quiet part anymore.
No.
So you mentioned tariffs. I don't know if we've gotten any real numbers now since the government has shut down, but economists, I understand, are projecting the Consumer Price Index, CPI report, to show higher inflation in September, largely due to climbing energy and food prices, two of the hardest areas of Americans to cut costs. Despite Trump's claims that to the contrary, prices have risen steadily since the second half of the year.
Don, think about this example. Just a week ago, the president said, grocery prices are down. What are people talking about? And at the same time, he's now trying to get beef prices lowered. If grocery prices were down and he were telling the truth, you wouldn't need to get beef prices down. And how is he trying to get beef prices down? He now wants to import beef from Argentina. And now you've got cattle ranchers going, are you kidding me? This is only going to hurt us more. Much like soybean farmers that are used to selling tons and tons of soybeans to China. We're now exporting 0 soybeans to China, and they're buying their soybeans from Argentina that we are currently trying to bail out to the tune of $40 billion. And that right there, anyone who says America first, America only, I don't know how they rationalize an Argentine bailout.
Well, I don't know. Did you see his tweet or Truth Social? He basically called the cattle ranchers stupid. He's like, they just don't understand what I've been doing for them, and they're in the great position that they're in now because of me. What the hell is he talking about?
Don, that's extraordinary. It's fair to say that there are a lot of people who are misinformed or ill-informed, but if you don't think farmers deeply understand, if you don't think cattle ranchers deeply understand trade, if you don't think they understand pricing, when we talk about government data and who it matters to, oftentimes it's farmers. So for the president to say that, I mean, that is like really sticking poking those ranchers when they know exactly how their business runs. They know the struggles they have. So to say, I'm doing you a favor with the tariffs, no, sir, he's not. And they know it. which is why we'll likely remember in the last when Trump was elected last time, farmers suffered because of the tariffs, and that's why he had to provide a huge farm aid bill. And we could end up in that same position again. We're hearing from the ag secretary that we need to be providing more support for our farmers because they're suffering.
Okay, so that CPI number, that measures annual inflation, right? It went from, I think, 3% in January, 2.4% in March, but then it spiked back up to almost 3%, 2.9% in August. So, and businesses are also hiring, Stephanie, fewer workers than recent years. So the unemployment rate is going to be higher. Millions of people are out there fighting for jobs right now. So I'm wondering why people are thinking this economy is better, perhaps, or are we just hearing the propaganda from the White House?
No. The underlying economy is okay. What we're seeing from businesses, though, they're not growing and they're not hiring because of the tariffs. They don't know whether to turn right or turn left. And another place when people say, well, the economy is strong, look at the stock market. When you look at the stock market, it's really these 7 mega tech companies that are overweight all the rest of the companies in the Dow Jones Industrial Index. And those are companies that aren't impacted by tariffs and they're not impacted by immigration. So when you go under the hood, there are a lot of companies struggling, but I would certainly not say we're not in recession territory. Everything is okay. People are just nervous because they don't know what's to come ahead. We have a wildly unpredictable president.
But how long can we just be okay, Steph?
We don't know. Listen, we've got the likes of Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan. We've got David Solomon from Goldman Sachs warning that there could be a correction that could be coming on the way, but we don't know yet, which is why a lot of people are just kind of nervous at this moment.
Why aren't these business owners complaining? Why are they donating money? You said that they're in the White House, I guess, because they
have access to this president, right?
But they're also making money hand over fist, Steph.
Yes, not all, but I mean, listen, the amount of money being made in the crypto space right now is like beyond anything you can ever compute. But I would say, and again, I'm not defending them, but CEOs want access to the president. They want to have their voice heard. They want to get in there, and they can. They can call the president. They can call Howard Lutnick. They might not like what the president has to say, but they feel like they're in the room and maybe they can negotiate for themselves, and that's good for them. It's not necessarily good for the American people because, again, we're in a situation where favors are being curried every day.
Steph, I like the look. I like the glasses. I like the hair. I like the.
Thank you.
And I want to see you on. I want to see you on your show like this. I love the relaxed Steph. Maybe tonight. What do you got? You got something good for us tonight at 11?
It'll be you know what? MSNBC? You'll soon find out. Tune in at 11. You know Stephanie, what? Actually, tonight, Art Cullen from Storm Lake, Iowa is going to be on. He's the editor-in-chief of the Storm Lake Times. And I'm especially happy to talk to Art because when you talk about, the media being disconnected or we're on the coast, Art is going to give us an exact view of, we're talking about all these mass deportations. You would think that they would happen at meat processing plants, right? Because there are lots of undocumented immigrants that work there. But I guarantee we're going to hear from Art that you're not seeing huge raids there. Why? Because meat processors are among the biggest donors to President Trump.
Well, there you go. You summed everything up, and you got a tease in. I love the sell. Thank you, Steph. Good to see you, my friend. We appreciate you coming on. Thank you, Stephanie Ruhle. Make sure you tune in tonight at 11 o'clock on MSNBC for the last word, for the 11th hour, on MSNBC. So there you heard from Steph, and now you're going to hear from someone who doesn't pull punches. And says it just exactly like what he means, and also is an extremely sourced reporter and a prolific author. That's Michael Wolff. But first, a word from our sponsors. Support comes from Ollie, fresh human-grade dog food delivered right to your door. Now, if you know me, you know my dogs, Boomer, Barkley, and Gus Gus. They are family. I want the best for them, so I switched to Ollie. They make real protein-packed meals with ingredients you can recognize, all slow-cooked and vet-approved for top nutrition. Even my pickiest eater, which is Boomer, cleans his bowl. Barkley's coat is shinier. Gus Gus has more energy than ever. He's a senior, so he's getting up there. So, it takes just 30 seconds to fill out Ollie's quiz and get a meal plan tailored just for your dog, for your dog's needs. And you can even check in with real experts through their app. Okay. So head over to ollie.com/lemon. And I want you to use the code lemon for 60% off of your first box. They even offer a happiness guarantee. That's OLLIE.com/lemon. Use the code lemon for 60% off today. They love the food. Your dogs will thank you. Support for the show today comes from Lean. Lean is a doctor-formulated supplement that helps stop the cycle of losing and regaining weight. Now, we've all tried the fad diets, the juice cleanses, the cabbage soup, you name it, and ended up back where we started. Doctors call that weight cycling, and it can lead to heart disease, diabetes, liver damage. Lean isn't a GLP-1 shot. It is a natural supplement that helps stabilize blood sugar, curb cravings, and turn fat into energy so you can keep it off for good. Now, I started using it this past year, as you know, to stay balanced through all the travel and the show days and all that stuff, and it made a real difference for me, okay? So if you want to lose weight at a healthy pace and keep it off, add Lean to your routine. Go to TAKELEAN.com, that's takelean.com, and use the code LEMON for 20% off of your first order. Again, that's TAKELEAN, TAKELEAN.com, code LEMON for 20% off. All right, thank you to our sponsors. Now, as I mentioned, we have a legendary veteran journalist here, and that's a best-selling author, Michael Wolff. Mike, thanks for joining us. Good to see you. How are you?
Nice to see you.
Well. Nice to see you. So what is this? Are you suing Melania Trump? Are you threatening to sue Melania Trump? What is this, a counter suit?
I am suing. I have sued Melania Trump. Michael Wolff versus Melania Trump. Yes.
Michael Wolff sues, this is according to the Associated Press, author Michael Wolff sues Melania Trump, saying that she threatened a $1 billion lawsuit over Epstein-related claims. So what is the purpose?
So in sum, so she threatened to sue me, or her lawyer sent me a letter saying that they were going to sue me for $1 billion over certain statements that I've made about her relationship or friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. This is all serious bullshit stuff. There's no possible way that what I said was defamatory. Actually, what I said was pretty mild, just mere statement of facts or quoting what Jeffrey Epstein said to me in the series of interviews with him. And she has done this not just to me. There's been a whole set of people who have talked about her relationship to Epstein, her and her husband's relationship, and she has sued them. And when you get sued by the first lady, and essentially you're getting sued by the president, make no mistake, people get frightened, as well they should. And in each of these cases, there was a quick settlement, an apology, a retraction, and that's what she asked for from me, in addition to the $1 billion. And I was like, no, you're just suing me because you don't want me to say what I've been saying. You don't want people to talk about this subject. Obviously, Donald Trump does not want people to talk about Jeffrey Epstein and has gone to wild lengths to impede that discussion. And this is just another aspect of this. So I said, no. And in New York State, and by the way, this lawsuit is actually called a slap suit. It's a suit. It's a suit in which there is no reasonable hope, actually no hope under the sun, that they could win this lawsuit. But they sue actually just to intimidate people from saying what they're saying. So that's called a slap suit. In New York State, there are anti-slap laws. It's against the law to file this kind of suit. So we've gone into court and asked for a declaratory judgment for the court to say, yeah, this is ridiculous, and you've violated the law in New York. But in addition, doing this also gives me subpoena power. I can subpoena and will Melania Trump, Donald Trump, and anybody in their circle of friends around Jeffrey Epstein, and I can ask them all, what's up with this? What is up with Jeffrey Epstein? What is how did you know him? What did you know him? What did you do with him? And it is really a kind of unique opportunity to finally answer so many of the questions that people have about Jeffrey Epstein.
Okay, so in the interest of just transparency and journalism here, what exactly did you say that she took offense to? Is that specified?
Yeah, it's a series of, they outline a series of statements, that I said that she was a part of his social circle, that she was involved with Epstein, that she was. I mean, it's literally along the lines of these kinds of things. Nothing is defamatory. It's not defamatory to say that someone knew someone else. Especially, as a matter of fact, especially when they've appeared in photographs together. I did say, quoting Jeffrey Epstein, and actually I've let Jeffrey Epstein say this in the tapes of interviews that I had with him, that Melania Trump first had sex with Donald Trump on Jeffrey Epstein's airplane. Now, it is also not defamatory to say that one single person had sex with another single person. So again, these are all far reaches to in which she hopes. Well, I don't even think she hopes. It's just a pretext to file a defamation claim. In this too, I would like to point out, because it is important to point out, that never before in the history of the modern presidency has a president or first lady sued anyone in the media for defamation, because we consider them libel proof. They're just too famous.
Which is interesting, because, as you know, the bar is so high, right, for these things. But people do reach that bar, and you may get a declaratory judgment. But this isn't. You're not suing for defamation. You're suing for something else. It's a slap lawsuit. But Michael, is it also,
you're suing for the opposite of defamation? You should be able to say what you should be
about a public figure. So
it's a free press. It used to be.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that anymore. Unless you pay him.
And this is precisely why. So this is striking back at that. And, and it's in the context of the fact that the media has folded again and again and again. And I wish it wasn't me who had to say, the buck stops here. But, I guess, it happens.
There's also, I'm not sure if you said it, but there's also reporting out there, or people allege that Donald Trump met Melania through Jeffrey Epstein. Is that?
Yeah, I don't know that. I mean, I've never said that, and I don't. I mean, they met through a similar circle. Actually, she says that she met through this modeling agent, Paulo Zamponi, I think his name is, who Epstein also knew. Trump knew. I mean, these were people deeply involved in the world of models in the 1990s. Epstein and Trump started model agencies together, invested in model agencies. They were obsessed with fashion models. Donald Trump obviously married one.
Why on earth would, if you're saying, since you said it the way you said it, why on earth would somebody want to sue you for saying someone had sex on an airplane? I mean, that doesn't.
Well, because I mean, because obviously they do not want to talk about Jeffrey Epstein. That opens the door to a almost 15-year friendship, a joined at the hip friendship. A speak on the phone every day, go everywhere together, hunt girls together, do weird business stuff together. Of these two bros, Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump. This is I mean, we know. I mean, my God. In some sense, the entire administration is now designed around avoiding this topic and distracting from this topic. This is the point of, and so far, really, it might seem the only point of genuine vulnerability in Donald Trump's political life.
What do you think is in there that Donald Trump is so afraid, or I don't know, so he's so apprehensive to have it released? What do you think is in there?
Well, I mean, as I said, these guys spent a long time in their obsessive pursuit of models. Supermodels, runway models, catalog models, girls who just hope to be models. I mean, Epstein went to jail over this, and ultimately killed himself because of this put him in the darkest prison in America while his friend Trump found his way into the White House. But and I think in this hunt for, a lot of people said to me, well, you don't mean Donald Trump was interested in little girls. I mean, Donald Trump was interested in models. How old were models? I mean, I think their models are 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, that's the world of models. Remember, in his beauty pageants, I think it's clear what it is.
Michael, it's not just Donald Trump. It's not just his appointees and the people who are in his inner circle, right? It's sort of in the White House are connected. It is also, it appears to be the whole of the Republican Party or Republican leaders. I mean, this just happened. I believe it was yesterday. And this is, James Comer and then Mike Johnson making excuses for not releasing the Epstein files. First, Comer.
Let's be clear. Democrats don't care about transparency or accountability in this matter. The evidence we've gathered does not implicate President Trump in any way. Public reporting, survivor testimony, and official documents show that Bill Clinton had far closer ties to Epstein. We're working to bring former President Clinton in for a deposition, but the Democrats aren't helping one bit. You would think, since we've already brought two former Trump cabinet secretaries in, they would be willing to bring in a Democrat who's had publicly a far closer relationship with especially Maxwell and Epstein. So why is that? That's a question every reporter should be asking Ranking Member Garcia and every Democrat on the committee. Why aren't you helping to bring Bill Clinton in for an interview and deposition, just like we brought in Barr and Acosta?
So why? Okay, if Bill Clinton did something wrong, then he deserves whatever it is that.
Yeah, well, on the face of it, that's absolutely incorrect. I mean, Bill Clinton had a relationship with Jeffrey Epstein for I think about 2 years, possibly 2.5 years. Donald Trump had a relationship with Jeffrey Epstein from the late 1980s through to 2004, in a relationship in which they were involved in every aspect of each other's lives. I think they were, in life itself, each other's closest relationship.
Huh. Someone in the chat said, I have to be honest, it said, who gives a fuck about Bill Clinton? Why are they bringing up Bill Clinton? He's
well,
not
we know why they're bringing up Bill Clinton, because they're desperate. I mean, and that this has always been the case of, during the 2016 campaign, when there were women after women after woman after woman after woman making accusations against Donald Trump, grabbed them by the pussy. What did they do then? They held a news conference and they filled the front row with the various women who have made accusations against Bill Clinton. This is the area of vulnerability for Donald Trump. It's an area that I think were the picture to be spelled out here, where this life to be really understood. And Donald Trump has said, everything was different in the 90s in Palm Beach. Yeah, I mean, it was different. And I think that at this point in time, no one would excuse that difference, and that would cost even Donald Trump, who manages to escape from everything. I think that would cost him dearly.
I mean, that is the dumbest argument I heard, because if he's going to bring in presidents, if he wants to bring in Bill Clinton, then and why doesn't he bring in the current president? If he's talking about bringing in presidents, I didn't hear him say that he wants to bring Donald Trump in for a deposition to be deposed.
Yeah, and obviously Donald Trump has the ability to release what the entirety of the material and evidence gathered about Jeffrey Epstein. Easy.
Where do you think this lawsuit is going to go? I think that you have a pretty good chance. I'm not a lawyer, but I just have a good gut, because nothing seems defamatory to me. Again, I'm just a lay person, but especially if you're going to have the power, subpoena power, that is not something that I think that the Trump folks want.
Yeah, no, I can't. I mean, I would be delighted. I mean, it would for me as a journalist who has covered this subject. This is like in some sense, other than the fact that it's going to be very expensive, and I am going to have to turn to anyone who would like to support this effort. But nevertheless, it is for me a gift. I mean, it is really the way of all the Epstein mysteries, this is the most direct way to solve them. Just ask someone under oath.
I want you to be successful with it going away, but I would love to see you subpoena the folks from the Trump side that you want to subpoena. I mean, I think that would just be as a journalist.
It would.
And doesn't that give you more material, Michael, for a book?
Yeah, my God, no, of course. This is I think of people who have these experiences and who are not writers, and then I think, well, what do you do with it? But to be a writer, to do this, well, as we say, it's all material.
I can see it now. A big book called Michael Wolff, Subpoena Power. Michael, thank you. I appreciate you joining us.
I'll see you soon, Don.
I'll see you soon. The great Michael Wolff. Wow. Our legends are here. Hi, legends. We're going to say hi to our legends, and we're going to hear what they have to say about all of this. But first, we want to get a word from our sponsors. Support comes from Henson Shaving. This is my favorite razor ever. The razor that finally fixed everything wrong with shaving. Most razors bend the blade too much, causing irritation and razor burn. Well, Henson solved that with aerospace level precision. The same team that made parts of the Mars rover, their razor holds the blade so steady that it extends just 0.0013 inches. That's less than human hair for a smooth, skin-friendly shave with zero plastic waste. Now, when I switched to Henson, I noticed right away no bumps, no razor burn, and the shave actually feels good again. And I can shave almost every day now. So that's great. Visit hensonshaving.com/lemon and use the code lemon to get a pack of 100 blades free with your razor. That's enough for 2 years of shaving. Okay. That's HENSON shaving.com/lemon, code lemon for your free 100 pack today. Now, let me tell you, if you have curly hair that grows in, like black men or Jewish men or people with like curly hair, I've had that problem my entire life. This has worked for me. Support for the show comes from Beam, because rest is resistance. Now, life's loud right now, really loud. The news, the scrolling, the nonstop noise, it wears you down. And one of the best ways to fight back is by actually sleeping well. Beam's Dream Powder is a natural blend with ingredients like reishi, magnesium L-theanine, and melatonin to help you fall asleep. stay asleep, and wake up clear-headed. Now, since I started using it, my mornings are calmer, my focus sharper, and my energy lasts through those long show days. My favorite flavor is cinnamon cocoa, smooth, warm, and relaxing. Beam's Dream Powder has already improved over 17 million nights of sleep. For a limited time, Beam is giving my listeners up to 40% off. So go to shopbeam.com/lemon and use the code LEMON at checkout. That's shopbeam.com. Use the code LEMON for checkout. Okay. Shopbeam.com/lemon and use the code LEMON for up to 40% off today. All right. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Sponsors, thank you. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Let's bring in the legends. Hi, legends.
Hi, Don.
How are you guys? How are you guys
What's
doing?
up, y'all?
Hi,
Don.
hello.
Oh my
Hello,
gosh,
hello.
gang is all
Mr.
here.
Lemon.
I hope everybody's having a great week. Okay, can we talk? What is on your mind right now? Do you want to discuss? What do we want to discuss? Do we want to discuss the big, beautiful ballroom? The big bombastic ballroom?
I'd like to discuss the big, beautiful ballroom. As an architect, it's a disgrace. I live here in DC, and I've seen that building, and I hope it's only up until after he's gone and it's been torn down. Those big flagpoles that look like a truck stop, they need to come down, and the Rose Garden, all that needs to go away. But it's ridiculous, man. And just to see that, I mean, architecturally speaking, it's out of proportion with the rest of the building. And everybody knows that. He even knows it. And I don't know why it has to go before the National Capital Planning Commission before anything, a federal building is built. And because he has his flunkies on that commission, it's like they just automatically approved it. But it's my understanding, and just reading today in the Washington Post, people are really pissed, and it may come to an end, and hopefully it's put on hold, because they don't even have the floor plans on record with the city or with the National Capital Planning Commission. He just demolished the building, period, dot. You know,
Well, I think, Warren, now people are getting a picture of how he operated here in New York and in other places with his business, that he didn't care. And then he would do all this, run over people, dare them to sue him, right? And then wait him out because he had more money than they did to wait out a lawsuit. But the question is, as you said, there's no planning commission, there's no building commission, there's no National Archives, there's no Congress, there's no nothing. He is just doing it. As an architect, I mean, you can attest, this is not how it is done. At least on just, even if it wasn't an historic building, it still doesn't comply with code and with standards.
There's a method to the madness. There is a method to the madness. And I mean, you could imagine every building in the District of Columbia that relates to federal property has to go through the National Commission. And I mean, that's the way it is. And I mean, so what he's done, what they're saying is the demolition part of the construction doesn't have to go through that commission. Just the building part of it does. And so that's where the disconnect is. He's demolished the building. So now if they say, no, don't do it this way, then it'll come back smaller. But the demolition of a property on a federal property doesn't have to go through that commission. Not unless, well, that was a historic, I don't know if it's under the historic landmark thing or whatever, but he's demolished the building. And so that's where we are now.
Yeah. He don't care. He just want it done however he wants it done when he wants it done.
But it's definitely out of proportion. And it doesn't mix in with the whole planning for the city, none of that. It's ridiculous.
Well, my thing is that we had Steph Ruhle at the top, and you guys saw all of that, legends. We had Stephanie Ruhle on at the top. We were talking about the economy. The economy is, she said, the economy is okay. Jobs are terrible. Businesses aren't growing. And then I want you to, this is what Caroline Levitt said today about Donald Trump's priorities. When the government is shut down, people can hardly afford food. Prices are up. Some people are, they're deferred, right? Their jobs. Some people are in danger of losing jobs. All of that. And then this is what she said is Donald Trump's #1 priority. Watch.
Go ahead. Yes.
Thank you, Caroline.
Thank you. Thank you.
In addition to the ballroom and the rose garden
I'm going
patio,
into the back. Sorry. Go ahead.
in addition to the ballroom and the rose garden patio, is the president looking at any other renovations or significant kind of projects here at the White House?
Not to my knowledge, no. But he's a builder at heart, clearly, and so his heart and his mind is always churning about how to improve things here on the White House grounds. But at this moment in time, of course, the ballroom is really the president's main priority.
The main priority, really?
Main priority.
Girl, bye. That's some bullshit. That's what I think.
And I think sorry, go ahead, Kev.
No, I just want to say real quick because it's pissing me off and it makes no sense to me. They have funds for Argentina. They have funds for this funky ass ballroom. Allegedly, we got $17 trillion coming in, but it's a government shutdown. Why are the food banks running out of resources? Why are people being laid off? Miss me with all of the bullshit because people are literally hungry right now. And let's not forget what's not getting enough attention in the media. He killing people in these Venezuelan fishing boats. 27 people.
32.
It went up. It's bullshit. And people not angry enough for me. No Kings was cute, but something more has to be done because this is not sustainable at all.
How do you guys respond to Kevin? What do you think? Who's that?
Well, Don, I'm also concerned about like the donors that are donating to this renovation. We don't have that great vetting. I know that he released a list of like 32 companies that are vetted that he released that have contributed and are donors, but we don't know like their ties to other foreign countries. Like there is not enough vetting. Isn't it a national security risk to begin with? What are these other countries gonna want from us in return? This isn't vetted. This isn't going through the proper channels. It could be like ties to Russia, to China, to anything. Like what do we owe them later?
It's a price for everything.
You know it. You know it. And that price tag we paying for right now, especially with Israel and their genocide and already it's started all over again. It's just a bunch of mess.
Non-peace agreement. You know what, ma'am? You're talking about something that I discussed this morning. A lot have been talking about because this is supposed to be a ceasefire deal. I know we're jumping all over the place, but I like it when you guys talk and you have a conversation amongst each. Just it's a free flowing conversation. And if I need to jump in, I will. But it's not a ceasefire when people are firing on each other.
Hello.
And they are firing on each other, and no one is saying, hey, this big ceasefire deal that he announced is not, it's over. It hasn't happened. It has fallen.
Nothing was signed.
But no one is saying that they're like, we hope this ceasefire holds. There's going to be back and forth or whatever. Okay, I get that, but it hasn't held. So that means there's no ceasefire anymore.
It's not. It was just optics.
Right.
Optics. They just wanted a ceasefire. I believe Hamas is actually Netanyahu. And they're going to destroy them Palestinian people over there because they already got dibs on Gaza.
Trojan horse.
Wow, that's quite something. I don't know. I mean, that's a lot because he's Hamas and he's killing
That's a Denver Nobel Peace Prize that he won't get.
Yeah,
right.
Go ahead. Who's that?
All you got to do is look at how they jumped in there with all of a sudden they got film covering everything when they did the little peace deal. Okay? They didn't have film when they was shooting and killing them kids over there. But all of a sudden you got networks after networks covering him over there with a peace deal. No. Miss me with all that.
I agree with her.
All in the game plan. I don't. Nope.
Who said that? Who says I agree with her?
Hi, Don. It's Keisha.
Hi, Keisha.
I agree with her because it is a genocide. They don't want the Palestinians to be alive. They don't want these people to live. And the Trump thing is all a grift with his son-in-law wanting to build on the Gaza Strip. They just want to enrich themselves. So I don't believe the ceasefire was ever real. They want the Palestinians gone. They don't believe that those people have a right to exist. It's disgusting.
And then this is the same person who wants a bloody Nobel Peace Prize. He's all about he's all about this blasted Nobel Peace Prize. You know, what peace? Where's the peace? I thought he was going to solve the war in Ukraine and Russia in 24 hours. What happened to that? I mean, I'm from England. Hi, you guys. I'm new to the Legend Nation. So, and
it's
I have to
Malaysia.
tell you guys, it's Melissa. It's actually just Melissa.
Okay.
It's just Melissa.
It's Melissa.
I just spell it differently.
Go ahead, Melissa.
So, I mean,
welcome.
I thank you so much. First of all, I just want to say you guys are fabulous. You're amazing. And I have been watching from the beginning that, you know, the show started. I was so thankful and so happy to Mr. Don Lemon for coming forth and doing this independent program. Because I'm telling you, I tell my family all across the globe. I've got family in the West Indies and in Europe, and I have them watching and paying attention to every little thing. So, but anyway, so I just want to give a shout out to you guys because you're amazing. But I just feel like I'm overwhelmed. You know, I'm new here, but if I could just say I'm so overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed with what's going on in the country. I am an immigrant. I'm the daughter of an immigrant. This country is not what I know it to be. We came here a long time ago, and I feel like what I'm experiencing and seeing is heartbreaking, of course, in what's going on overseas. But all of this money that's being spent is absolutely atrocious. When people are dying, my father was a veteran. He's an American veteran. He died last year on the 4th of July. He served this country. Purple Hearts, Bronze Star, Silver Star, all of it. And he cried when he saw all of what was going on before he died. It was like he couldn't even take it. I kind of feel like it killed him in a way. But as a Black male veteran, you know, I'm trying to say a Black man who served in this country and has seen the most unbelievable things. It's just crazy to me that veterans are in line looking for food because of a shutdown. I'm seeing people in military gear trying to, you know, be in line for food. Since when? Why? I used to have to fight for him, to advocate for him for all the things that he should have gotten, not just, you know, to beg for that he deserved, even with his own health care, let alone what's going on with the health care of other Americans and people who aren't Americans, such as myself. I mean, I'm an American citizen and have been, but still, this is crazy. And I just feel overwhelmed at times. It makes me feel like I just literally feel as though like I want to leave, but I'm going to stay here and fight. That's for sure.
You're in a good community, and so thank you very much, Mo. I know you've been raising your hands. What do you want to talk about, babe? Mo Money. Oh, I said okay. I got two Mo's. Sorry, either Mo.
You got a Mo and a May.
I got a Mo. Oh, it's May Money, not Mo. Why am I thinking Mo Money? May Money.
You like
and
that
Mo.
movie done?
Mo Money.
I'll let Mo go first.
I was thinking Mo Money,
and Mo
May
Problems.
Money, and Mo. Mo, I invoked
I'll
your
let
name.
Mo
You
go
go
first.
Well, all I really, we're on vacation right now, and so I've been a little out of touch the last couple of days, but we've been able to settle. Yes, we are out of the country right now. And we've been able to settle down a little bit, and turning on the news was just gut-wrenching. One of the first images I saw was the demolition of the White House. And at first I didn't think it was real. I thought, this is AI, right? Somebody's just pranking us. And then, you know, we started watching some of the shows that we missed while we were traveling. We were actually traveling for over a day. And it's just, it just makes me sick. It really does. Everything that's going on, and then tuning in today and finding out more of the stuff that's going on, and now the Argentina stuff and the beef and it's just overwhelming. It's
exhausting.
It's a lot. It's exhausting. Exactly. It's exhausting. Everything
You see your hubby behind you?
What is he doing?
Photo bombing, screen bombing.
He is all of us. He is all of us.
Tell me about it.
Bo, we love
we
it.
need a drink up in here.
That's a good man, Savannah. That's a good man.
It's your girl May
Savannah.
Money. It's your girl May Money up in here.
May, can I call you Mo Money?
Mo Money, Mo Money.
My name is Maymuna, and people call me May Money. People been calling me May Money since
Not Maymuna. I like that.
All right.
Yeah,
Money,
I
Mo
like
problems.
Maymuna. That's a beautiful name.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, so it works with May Money. You feel me? Anyway,
up,
but man, I had a rough day. Like today, my mom made me buy a whistle because of the ice agents. I walk around a lot. I take public transportation. I'm in Oakland, California, and we're being under attack. I haven't seen anything. I don't know how successful this ice stuff is gonna be. We don't have fluffers and stuff out here. We don't play the same way that Portland and stuff do. So I'm wondering how this is gonna work for them. But like I had to go through a whole training today at work because I work at an elementary school. There's parents that aren't comfortable even coming to school and potentially getting kidnapped off the side of the road and leaving their kids alone. And it's been a lot. And like the fact that we have to even that we're even talking about this shit right now is insane to me. So and it's weighing really heavy on my heart. And like I was talking to Katie about the White House, and my grandma, God rest her soul, she loved Washington, D.C. She loved the monuments, the history, and all that. She is definitely turning in her grave right now just to see the defacing and the destruction with this fucking fascist over here destroying the people's house. It's just disgusting. I can't even go into that because that's gonna make me cry again. And then there's something that's really been pressing on me. Like I agree with Kev when it comes to the No Kings protest. That was all great and fine and dandy, but I knew this exactly what was going to happen. That protest was not for anything but to just make people feel good about themselves, like they did something. We did not do anything. We have proven that we have 7 million people that can organize and come together and do something about this. And we built some momentum, and guess what? Now we're just back to sitting around not doing shit. So like don't come for May Money. Don't come over here telling me that protest did anything, because it didn't. All this shit it's gonna keep continuing. We need to keep the foot on these people's neck, and we have the energy. So actually at this point it's on us. We are to blame because we are not doing a fucking enough to stop this shit. Ain't no way I should have to walk around with a fucking whistle because there's Nazis walking around kidnapping people. It's disrespectful, it's fucking rude, and I'm tired of this shit. And honestly, it's like we're over here trying to do CPR when there's a burning fucking building. Like in the building that's burning down. Can we at least put the fire out first? Please. Like our team is weak. We are not doing shit. And honestly, like I'm starting to get mad at our side. And if you don't like how I curse at you, then you know what? Sit the fuck down, because now is not your time. You can be on the team, but you are not in the game. I'm so fucking sick of this shit. It's unacceptable, and we need to general strike right now. We gotta shut this shit down.
It's gone too far.
So who else wants to jump in?
So okay.
I'm sorry, Kate, go ahead.
So with what May was saying, I've been seeing a lot of talk about like general strikes happen, like the talk of general strikes, but to May Money's point about how it's on us now, it's true, but I know for me, I get like concerned because everyone says call your reps, call your people that are supposed to represent you. But like for me, what if I have people that represent me that don't care about me? So for where I'm at, I've got John Fetterman, Scott Perry, and David Cormack.
God help you.
So that's like having nobody.
Fair prayer.
Exactly.
And bugging the hell out of them. That's what you do. They'll
Yeah,
get tired
and
of me
we
bugging them. Yeah.
well, we
Just
do, but it's still just so frustrating because he just everything that's going on with this administration, like they just keep breaking laws every day. And
yes.
May and I have this thing that we check like multiple times a week that's called the Trump Action Tracker that people in England have set up for every law he's broken and every law he's like defiled since he's taken office, and it's almost up to 16,000 or
Mm.
1600
Wow.
1600. I'm sorry.
1600.
Facts.
Yeah,
Too
it's
much.
On
so
that note,
yeah,
on
it's
that
like
note,
it's just so
um,
frustrating to see all this.
yes, on that note, what have been thinking about a lot lately is how are we going to pick up all of this and move on? For example, how do we redo the Justice Department? Can we start with nothing as far as healthcare and then just build from the ground up universal healthcare now? I mean, that would be a wonderful thing to come out of this. But is there some type of group, coalition, background people like Clinton and Gates and all of these rich people, Oprah, are they behind the scenes like figuring out how we're going to rectify all of this? Because all of our institutions are affected by this. They all need to be reformed, especially the Justice Department. And I hope there is some type of, very, very exclusive, brainy meeting going on. Maybe Obama, maybe Eric Holder, all these people getting together and saying, how are we going to dig out of this? Because that's what I'm worried about. I think
We
we
got to
might
get
get
him
through the
in
next 2 to
first.
3 years, but what are we going to do as far as reform?
I also don't know what we're gonna do. Like, I'm in immigration, so I go to immigration court. I don't know what's gonna happen with immigration court, because it's complete chaos. This administration is firing judges. So some of the hearings that I have been canceled because I go online the next day and ask, and they're like, "Oh, he's been fired, he's been let go, or she's been let go." And the backlog
Wow.
keeps growing and growing and growing. And it's just complete chaos. Like I don't even understand what's going to happen with immigration at this point. People are so lost, like
Scary.
no clue.
Scary.
Wow.
I
And
mean,
people are,
Jennifer, I
who's
hear
getting fired?
The judges are getting fired. They're being let go. Like if you work less than 2
Wow.
years, or they're looking at their record to see if they have more favorable cases or more favorable rulings, and they don't like it, and they're firing the judges that rule favorably, for example.
And this is what they don't tell you.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Corruption.
Yeah.
Wow.
I feel like the Democratic Party is not doing anything. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I am extremely disappointed in Hakeem Jeffries and a lot of them. I just feel like it's a joke. That's why I absolutely agree with May Money. Like, what are they doing? You know, no, the No Kings protest was cute, but it's not enough. What else can we do here? And I feel like our party is not even fighting, or those who are part of that. Nobody's really and truly fighting. I mean, this man is so dirty. They have to fight fire with fire. All of this being nice is ridiculous to me, or just playing a pandering to it. It makes me feel like, I think Katie or somebody said that in the chat. Does he have something on them? What is going on with them? It is weak as water.
I think we should do just like Don said this morning. I think we should do just what we did for Jimmy Kimmel. I think people need to boycott Amazon, whoever else is building that ballroom. We need to start boycotting, not buying from them, picketing in front of their stores, whatever it takes to get them. Because if they ain't getting no money, then they'll start hassling him,
Right.
and he'll
Well,
get on top of his game.
well, here's
Go ahead,
here's
Phil.
here's what I'm feeling with the Democrats. Good evening, everybody. Hold on. What I'm feeling with the Democrats is that they are so worried about procedure, and
Yeah.
it's causing no movement. And I was always taught no movement is backwards movement. And if you're sitting here waiting on procedure, forget procedure right now. The government is shut down. What are you still talking about procedure for? And
Exactly.
I agree wholeheartedly with May Money with the No Kings protests. All it showed, I wonder with all of those people who actually got out and quote unquote made their voices heard. I want to know how many of those people actually vote. And when I mean vote on the local level, state level, and national level. Of those 7 million people, how many of them actually go to their polls and cast a vote?
Right.
It's ridiculous. All of this stuff is so much fluff.
Where were those people in November?
Exactly. And I go back, and when I talk about Donald Trump and the macro, I always refer to the micro. I said this the last time we were on, and if people didn't believe me, look at the White House right now. He's doing the same thing to this country as he did to Atlantic City. He's doing it in real time. Like, if you don't get it now, when will you ever get it? It's ridiculous. When it's too damn late. It's too damn late already. It's already too late. Look at everything that's happening. It's
Let me tell you,
too late.
Let me jump in here because I think you're right. I'm on a mission. You're right. It is money talks. And as my friend would say, my good friend from St. Louis, he would say, money talks and bullshit runs the marathon. And so I believe that, look, I'm not encouraging you guys to boycott, but I think boycotting is probably the most effective way. But I also, look, I understand what you're saying, May, and I don't disagree with you that it's nothing unless something comes of it. So if what happened last Saturday encouraged people to figure out what they're going to do, if what happened last Saturday motivated people to do some things, if it gave them more courage, if it gave them more confidence that they can fight back and there are things that they can do, then I think it was successful. I think that instead of just planning, I'm surprised that people aren't in the streets, May, like you. I'm surprised that people are just not in the streets and are pissed off and just defying everything, saying, instead of just planning marches every now and then, and you get 7 million people out, and then what happens after those 7 million people go out, right? Something has to happen after that. So I will take what happened on Saturday, but you have to build momentum and it has to start somewhere. And I hope that Saturday was a start. Can I get a witness?
Let me just say this. Let me say this. Saturday was for white people. Okay. Lord. Saturday was for white people. It was for white people to say,
yep. She said,
we are with you, because we didn't really feel like we needed to come. Okay. Most of us sat out, but it was for white people to say, yes, there are more of us who are sane. Okay. And it made us know that there are white people that stand with us. But that was for white people. That wasn't really for us. That's why you guys in the group here are saying it wasn't really that much, because it wasn't for us. Jennifer, it was for white people.
Jennifer, you hit it right on the button.
There was some diversity.
I agree with Dr. Griffin. Dr. Griffin hit it on the nose.
Okay.
Well, the thing about
it. I'm sorry, real quick. Jennifer, you hit it right on the button. I've been telling my friends and family, I could walk to the mall from where I live. I could not see how many people it was, but I saw at least 50,000 people. I told them I could count the number of Black folks that I saw in that crowd. I was one of 20 that I saw in that mass of people. I was going to ask the sister why she was there, but I forgot to. But I could count the number of Black folks I saw on that mall in the vicinity where I was. And that stood out to me exactly. And just what you said, I'm going to leave it up to them. I don't mean it gets down. That's how deep it is. There
But
were
where
no
does it go
black.
then from Jen and Warren? So you said that, and look, there was even the social media team, the folks I had up there said that there weren't a lot of, they were saying there weren't a lot of young people. It was mostly older people. There was
Well,
some
I was one of
diversity
the
out
older
there,
black people.
but it wasn't a ton. You obviously didn't see as many people out for George Floyd. But here's the thing. So Jen, I want to ask you, then you said that was for white people. Then now what is it? Now is the next thing for everybody now that people understand that there are a whole lot of, go ahead.
Well, the main problem is white people because we all 88+% of black men voted for Kamala, regardless of what they say about how she lost black men. Most black men voted for Kamala. 92% of black women voted for Kamala. So we are not the problem. The problem is white people. And seeing 7 million white people out is refreshing. But just think about this. If it had been 7 million black people, it would have been militarized.
Yes.
And we would now be in
Dr.
martial
Griffin,
law.
you said what I was
So
getting ready to say.
That part
Dr.
right
Jennifer
there.
Griffin said what I was just about to say. If black people assembled in that number, we would have been rioters, we would have been monsters, we would have been
Killed.
we would have been killed, we would have been jailed. It would have looked different. We're not considered peaceful just because of how they feel about black people in general. And I'm not bashing white people. I'm actually thankful that they came out to protest in those numbers. But that's the thing. And I have this conversation with friends and family all the time. It's like, well, you do this, you say these things. But I'm like, yes, but like, if I go out and say how I really feel and threw a sandwich at a freaking National Guard, I would be
Not a
under there.
sandwich.
Like straight up.
You going
It's refreshing. It's refreshing, but I just want to say one thing. It's refreshing, but there still has to be a plan because the other side had their plan. It's called Project 25, and we're seeing it in real time. And at the end of the day, this country will never be the same again, and it should not be for a lot of reasons. But you have to have something to build up from, like Dr. Griffin was saying. What's next? What's your Project 2028 or 2026?
And white people never had to do this before. White people have never had to fight for their rights out here, at least in this country. So
Look,
y'all better start taking some pages out. And one thing I gotta say, if black people were out there, that would give them an excuse to whoop your white ass too. Don't think that they wouldn't. So like,
and if you remember,
look at what's up on the screen. I want you guys to look at what's up on the screen and tell me what you say. So stop the white and black shit. We are all Americans. Let's get it together or nobody wins. What do you guys say?
Nah, that ain't how it works.
Well, the country need to act like it.
that's what they've been doing for 400 years.
Okay, well, tell that to white people then.
That's right, but
real.
We know the realization.
One at a time. One at a time. One at a time. Go ahead.
Wait until the Supreme Court does away with the Voting Rights Act. What is coming? Wait until then you'll really get a feel that it is a matter of black and white.
Here's what I say to that. Here's what I say to that statement. I wonder what nationality, what race, if you will, that person is. Everything in this country is black and white. Everything since the beginning of time. Everything in this country is black and white. And to go back to that, and to go back to what my sister said when she gave the parallel between white protesters and black protesters, if you remember, a few days before January 6th, there was a Black Lives Matter protest. They had the National Guard out regimented the night before they got out there. And then all of a sudden, January 6th, they're nowhere to be found. Everything in this country is black and white. So to say that, to kill the black and white stuff is read the room. You're highly uninformed. You're highly insensitive. And it just shows to me that you haven't had to deal with any plight that any black person in the history of this country had to deal with.
But this goes back to
It's plain and simple. And if you
This the
don't like it,
contract
Okay, I
society
want to hear
book.
from someone who
If you don't
hasn't
watch
spoken.
black
I
and
want to
white
hear from
anymore,
someone. I want to hear from the people who haven't had a chance to speak yet.
Maureen.
I think that
No, I'm hearing you all. I'm learning. Am I in your body or your body? No, of course not. But I think we're all I'm almost ready to cry right now. We're all disturbed. Our children are suffering. I have a little nephew who has autism. I have biracial nephews. I have a Mexican niece. I'm worried for everybody. I love you all. I have to say this. I hate where our country is right now, and I'm sorry that our history has not learned anything.
we
My
love you
goal-
too, Miss Maureen.
Please don't
Yeah,
cry.
yeah, I really do love you. You know, I sit back, I learn, and I know that that's why I'm on I'm a lemon head, elimination, because of the diversity of what's happening here. Because of Don Lemon, and I'm going to share that with Don Lemon. He's helped me get through so many different things. And, you know, I almost can't talk anymore, but I will tell you, I am so worried about the children and not having food, not having their education, not having their special programs. And I will do whatever I can. I admit I'm not a great protester, because the first time I protested, I passed out because I became dehydrated. Not that you have to hear that, but I'm just sharing. I think everything counts. I think everybody on the screen counts here. All of you, all of them, a nation. I am so damn tired of what this president's doing and how he's dividing us. But yes, we don't have a good history, and we're going way backwards. And whatever I can do, I will do whatever little bit I can do. So I just have to share that. I do love you all.
And we
But the
love you too,
average
Maureen. And thank you
family,
And I
for the
love that
kind
we're all
words.
together here.
the average family, like in the United States, I believe, is super diverse. Like, yeah, I am white, but my husband, he's Hispanic, and my child is of mixed race. And it really hurts me, like, to see this administration like targeting people and trying to divide people. You know, it hurts. Like when I looked at the U.S. Department of Labor, like their new ads, they're like this. Like this is not what we're made out of. This is not families in the
Where's
United
that
States.
from? Where's that from, Olia?
This
The
is the
Department of
U.S.
Labor?
Department of Labor.
That looks like
Good.
my
Look at this.
my Jack and Jill or whatever you know, C-Spot
It is
run
like
book from
scary.
first grade.
Yeah, I when I saw this, I'm like, is this what he's trying to paint America as? Like, what?
Lori
does.
trying to get in, y'all. She been trying all minutes.
Go ahead, Dory. I'm sorry.
No, no worries. Yeah, kind of give you. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Give you a little anecdote. You know, I grew up in a small town in Michigan. My dad was a school teacher. My mom stayed at home, had 4 kids. And the one thing that my parents always impressed upon me growing up is treating everyone with respect, regardless of age, gender, sexual orientation, race, you know, religion, you know, because everyone is a human being. I kept that throughout my entire life. And, you know, and I know what Trump is trying to do. He is trying to separate us by races, by religion, by gender, by sexual orientation, because he knows if he does that, then he defeats us as Americans. And he knows that we are stronger together than apart. And that's why we got to keep talking. We got to keep fighting. We got to be on, you know, thank you, Don, so much for your show. I think you're the only one that's doing this, tell you honestly. I've been on other shows where I'm just a listener and stuff, and you're the first that really has us join and give our opinion, and I'm grateful for that. But we all have to keep in mind, all of us, is we are more powerful together than we are apart. And as soon as we start it's a white thing, black thing, it's a Mexican, don't do it.
Yeah.
It's an American thing.
Okay, but here's
Well,
the
someone
thing.
said, I just want to say, someone said that they don't feel welcome here. And I know I don't feel welcome here now. And everyone should feel welcome here. People are stating their opinion, and opinions are just that for everyone, opinions. And so you don't have to agree with it.
But see, the part of the problem is that white people need to realize that they are the only ones that can change this. And we cannot.
I don't think that's true.
They are the only ones who can convince other white people that there's an issue and that they need to change their vote. They're not going to listen to us as people of color. They already think that we're dumb.
This
And also, like, if it's not you, like all the
Who hasn't spoken?
it's not all
Who
white
hasn't?
people.
Hold on,
If it's
May.
not you, it's not you.
Right.
See,
right.
okay, we're not talking about you.
Make that point again, May. Say it again.
If it it's not all white people that I see in the chat. We're not talking about you. And if you are doubting, like, oh, is that me? Then maybe it is you that we're talking about.
Followed by pound.
What the hell?
Yeah. Okay, guys, I have to.
Right.
I've got to run it. Anybody did not speak. I want to know if you guys want to say something.
It's a jail call.
I do have one thing to say.
Yeah.
It is not always a race thing. It is an economic thing.
Right.
So they use some of this
Socioeconomics.
thing where it's the money against the people that don't have the money. So we have like the companies that are going into the White House to build the ballroom. The only reason they're doing it is because they're getting something out of it, whether it's government contracts or deregulation. So we have to look at it like it's the haves and the have-nots sometimes instead of the races, the black and the white, because it's kind of a combination because they keep dodging and ducking every couple of days, and so we need to find that it's not just one thing. It's a lot of things at once.
But poor
and they
black
want to distract and divide us. But I have to get the people in who haven't spoken. If you haven't spoken, please raise your hand. Who has not? And go ahead, please.
I haven't.
Go ahead.
Is that Andrea back there?
Yes, me.
I want to say that. I want to say that definitely you need both. Everybody in America. America is not just black and white anymore. It's multicultural, and everybody has to come together and push against it. Even when King marched, he wasn't doing it. It wasn't just all black people. It's never been just all black people. If you go back to the abolitionist movement, it wasn't all black people. I mean, and we have succeeded and overcome with multiculturalism by bringing everybody together. And that's what we need to do now.
But I just want to say one thing before we leave.
If you haven't spoken, if you haven't spoken, who hasn't spoken? Go ahead. Speak. Yes, go ahead.
The only color that Donald Trump likes is green.
Green.
And when those SNAP benefits stop November 1st, when they realize that the handicapped children no longer have schooling, when they start feeling the effects of the government shutdown where they miss 1 check, 2 checks, 3 checks, you're going to see it has nothing to do with color. It has to do with green. And Don, before I go, I saw something on Facebook said that you was going to do a series on Facebook. Is that true? On Netflix? A series on Netflix, it said.
No. You and my mom sending me the Facebook post about me. Apparently, I was arrested and prosecuted. I'm suing somebody. I'm donating money to charities, all kinds of crazy stuff.
This one is a positive one, Don.
Yeah.
It's a positive
one. Well, let's put it out in
in
the universe that I am. Let's put it out there in the universe.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I was doing it, because it's positive. You're producing it, and it's 16 episodes.
Well, if it's
your music, let's go.
But it's green with Donald Trump. Donald Trump just like money.
All right, y'all, I have to
score the
go
music.
unless there's someone who hasn't spoken. Speak now or forever hold your peace. 5, 4, 3.
Democracy Jesus has not said anything.
Yeah, she's holding it back. Come on.
Why are you holding it back, Democracy Jesus?
DJ.
Put me on the spot.
Yes.
My name is Josh. Democracy Jesus is my YouTube channel name, so everybody knows. Wow, I just wanted to. This is my second time on. I just want to glean and learn, and everything here is so relevant.
Do you feel welcome here, Josh? Because I hope you do.
More than welcome,
Okay,
because the diversity is what is supposed to make us who we are, who America is. I just kind of circling back to what we first talked about, Don and folks, community here, which is so important. If you don't have community, you guys, we don't have anything. Is that, I mean, DJT is addicted to chaos and confusion, and he has the keys, right, to the entire apparatus that enables him to do all of this without consequence. And what bullies do, why they can beat up people on the playground, is because they can. They have they have the keys, they have the authority, and they have all their goons and thugs around them. And not only we've been saying things, it's almost gotten cliche now, that the cruelty is the point. Well, it's gone beyond that, you guys. I think that the demolition is the point, the destruction is the point. All of the D words, the Donald words, the disfiguring, the damage is the point here. And I mean, even if you think about it, they've been showing this for quite some time now. I was in Washington, D.C. in March, and they were not just painting over, they were jackhammering up Black Lives Matter Plaza in real time. They've been painting over or paving over rainbow crosswalks. I mean, this East Wing thing is just the next level of that. And it is to prove their power and to prove irreparable damage. And this damage is not temporary. So there's a sadistic satisfaction for not just Donald Trump, but the people around him, that they have been waiting for this. And so days like Saturday, yeah, we need to, I agree, it was mostly for white people. And why the idea is sustaining that. We talk about, general strike. How are we going to get a general strike? We get people to come out more than 2 hours on a Saturday every 6 weeks. I don't know. That there's so much more to do and think about in big picture. And
we're
a lot
smart
of things
enough
talk
to
about is under
retweet.
all the rules.
Well, thank you guys. Listen, I have to run because I'm on way past time, and I gotta go. We've been on for an hour and a half. Okay, so I'm so glad. So, Legends, you got what did you get? You got 40 minutes, 40 minutes on today. Or I love that you guys are on, and we need to do I'm going to do just a Legends only show. Maybe we'll make like a Legends Friday or something like that. So thank you guys. All right. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Take care of yourselves, please. And I hope everybody feels welcome in this community. We speak frankly and honestly, but everyone is welcome, and you're all welcome to state your opinions, whether we like it or not, because I certainly say mine, and most of the time, May Money doesn't agree with me, but that's okay. So anyways, thank you guys. I'll see you next time. Okay, Legends? Bye. Okay, guys, listen, I've got to run. If you want to know anything about the Don Lemon Show, go to donlemon.com. You can find out how to become a member there. You can find out how to subscribe. There's also a subscribe button right there at the bottom right hand of your screen. Become a legend. Get to the highest tier, or the higher tiers of our memberships, because then you get to be part of the show. Either you get a private show, a private stream where we all talk, or you get to be on the screen if you are a Lemon Legend, okay? So we appreciate you. I want you to be informed without being inundated until I see you back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. I want you to turn the TV off. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never, ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next time.